Welcome to Coffee Talk with Immigration Attorney Brian D. Lerner. I thought that I would talk about getting an immigration consultation because some people who call, they have expectations and they have desires where they want to do things that just can't realistically be accomplished in a call. So, for example, my typical consultations that I give clients are less than 10 minutes. It's number one, it's a free consultation, and number two, I can get to the issues of what needs to be done and how I can help in minutes. Okay, and even then, it does not take long in order to do it. So, in order for the person calling to get the most out of the free consultation, they need to let the attorney ask questions, because we know as immigration attorneys what the issues are, what immigration needs, what they're looking for, what red flags exist, and what problems there are. So, for example, let's say somebody calls and they want a fiance visa, okay? And if I were to just let people talk, they would tell me for 3 hours how wonderful their fiance is and how they have 10,000 pictures and how it's the best relationship they've ever had. But that's not what immigration is looking for. Yes, they need to make sure it's a bona fide relationship, but that takes a lot more than just pictures. Okay, anybody can get pictures. And so when I hear that is a fiance petition, for example, the issues I go into are different depending on the situation. But first, I need to see if they met in person, because the fiance petition requires that they physically meet within 2 years of filing the petition. Okay, that's the first thing. So I determine if that's the case. There's a lot of cases where, they'll tell me, oh, sure, we've met. And I go, well, when did you meet in person? I say, well, we meet on Skype every night. I go, well, that's not in person. Okay. So if they haven't met in person, they either need to meet in person, or there needs to be a waiver that needs to be done of the personal meeting requirements. For example, I had a consultation on this issue the other day, and the gentleman was older. He just got over cancer. He was medically afraid that if he actually went and met this person in this third country, he might either get infected or there might be a flare-up. And so we would be able to do a medical waiver. Now, there are other issues that I look for, and again, I'm just pulling out of a hat here an example of fiance visa. I need to see if there are red flag issues right off the bat to determine if immigration will think they're just lying about the relationship. So I'll ask how long they've met each other or how long they've known each other. Now, when they tell me 6 months, 3 months, something like that, right off the bat, I can say, well, that immigration believes that everybody who walks in the door is lying, and that it is not a bona fide relationship, and that the only reason the foreign national wants to marry is to get the green card. So it doesn't mean it can't be proven. Okay, I mean, it can be proven. We have all kinds of ways of doing it, but that's an issue that goes up. I then ask about their ages. If we have a significant age difference, the same thing pops up. And again, it's not that you can't prove it, but if you have a 30-year-old marrying a 60-year-old, that's what immigration is going to think. Okay, so that means the bona fides have to be given much more detail than in other types of relationships. I need to see if the petitioner has any criminal history to see if they're subject to the Walsh waiver and that they can't actually even do the petition. I need to see if they are, either one is still married, so that they're not committing bigamy and that they're eligible. I need to see the petitioner is a U.S. citizen, so that he or she can actually petition the person to come in. I need to see if the beneficiary is inadmissible because of prior deportation orders, because of prior unlawful stays in the U.S., because of inadmissibility based on the amount of stays, criminal inadmissibility, medical inadmissibility. You can see where this is going. There's a lot of issues. And I picked one of the more simpler ones, which is the Fiance Visa, that need to be looked at during our little free consultation. So, honestly, when the potential client wants to go on and on about issues that they deem is important, that's not where the consultation should go to best help the person, because what they think might be an issue is a non-starter most of the time. Okay, there's also certain. This happened the other day. Someone called on a fiance visa. I asked about the issues, got the answer, and then he wanted to ask questions. And he wanted to ask, like, what's the percentage of success? How many cases have you had just like this? What are the top 5 reasons for denial? And to answer those, number one, to answer those types of questions in a free consultation would, number one, waste 75% of the time, where the merits of the case can be delved into and the real issues at hand can be delved into to determine what really needs to be done and what are the issues. Unlike if you go to, for example, a mattress store or a car salesman, not putting them down at all, but when they try to get your business, sure, they can say, oh, this is 100%, you're gonna love it, and I've had 22 cases exactly like this, and they can go on like that. But see, attorneys are regulated, and they're regulated because they cannot provide legally these types of answers. When someone asks me, what's the percentage of success? I can't tell them what the percentage of success is because I don't know what's in the mind of the officer that is reviewing the petition. I don't know, assuming there's an interview, what the beneficiary exactly is going to say. There's a lot of variables. Realistically, you could send a petition to Officer A, who might approve it, and send that exact same petition to Officer B 10 feet down in another office, who might deny it, and you could send the exact same petition to Officer C, who might decide not to approve it or deny it, but send an RFE, a request for evidence, because there's certain issues that this officer sees. Additionally, no case is exactly the same. Nothing is exactly the same. I've never had 2 cases that have the exact same facts and the exact same issues. So to put a number of success on a particular case, number one, is irrelevant because every case is different. And even if it were exactly the same, wait, I have a message here that you guys can't hear anything. Oh my God, I've done all this and you can't hear? Is there anybody else that can't hear? This means I'm gonna have to do it again. Okay, well, let me close it off here. But I hope that, okay, I'm gonna have to do it again. All right, thanks for the let me close this up.